Hey everyone, welcome back to Love Guitars in the Nashville Skyline. Last time, Amanda and Juliet made it to Virginia, to a town called Bristol, and Juliet played some music at a bar and then had a very interesting conversation with the bar owner who mentioned something about finding your roots, not so much running away from them, which made both Amanda and Juliet think a bit about where they've come from and where they want to go. And then they both confided in each other about their pasts, which was really nice, considering we don't really know what conversations they've had with each other up to this point. I mean, obviously there hasn't been much on screen. It's all implied. But you think maybe a little bit about their pasts might have come up before, but it hadn't. But it's here now. That's what matters. You know, who needs to really get to know people anyways in that regard until you've already spent a couple days with them. Anyways, I digress. Oh, yeah, and then Juliet disappeared in the middle of the night. Well, it didn't disappear in the middle of the night, but she left somewhere. I don't know where. We'll find out. Amanda doesn't know where either, clearly. As I begin to rise from the bottom of the sea of sleep, I reach out to Juliet. My first instinct as I wake up is always to make sure she hasn't disappeared. And then I kiss the sleepy, grumbly Juliet over and over until we both slowly breach the surface and gulp down the fresh air of awakening. But she's not here this time. The only sign is a faint warmth on the sheets. I grope around for her, but her slender shoulders and short, rough hair are nowhere to be found. I bolt upright in a panic and scan the room, and in front of the curtains, I spy her slight and beautiful silhouette. Where'd you go last night? I love how Juliet's like wearing her necklace. Does she sleep in that? I mean, she sleeps in all her piercings, which I don't know. I don't have any piercings, but that seems unusual to me. Don't you usually take out your earrings and shit before bed? God, they eat a lot of breakfast in this game. It makes me hungry for pancakes. Nighttime. At breakfast, Juliet immediately told me she was ready to do another performance, and as soon as we were done, she headed toward last night's bar with renewed resolve to tell the owner. Though I didn't hide the skepticism on my face, when the time comes, she merely gives me and the owner a big smile, and in that same carefree way, she takes to the stage once more. In the end, she was a hit. In her short time on stage, she played one new song, 2 of her old songs, and 4 covers of classic hits. But the same patrons from yesterday had entirely different responses this time around. The liquor flowed freely, and cheers and applause filled the bar. As for Juliet, she seemed to have changed more than the patrons' responses did, and even they noticed. As she sang the new song with all her heart, she didn't seem isolated anymore. The song wasn't the happiest one, though. It was a song about walking the path you've chosen step by step without faltering, or looking back, even if your hopes are unfulfilled and you remain alone. But she wasn't standing at that crossroad anymore. She no longer sang as if she was praying that path she was going to choose would be the right one. That was how I knew she had changed.
お疲れさん。じゃ、これは今夜の報酬だ。
こんなに？約束よりだいぶ多いよ。
ああ、いいんだ。今夜は繁盛したしな。ジョーさんのおかげもあるし、取っておけ。お前さん、きっと本物になるぞ。たった一晩で何ができるかと思ってたんだが、想像以上だ。
ねえ、それってジュリーの出した答えが正しかったってこと？
In one night, that's pretty impressive, but maybe when you're young, you're capable of that.
多分な。俺も牧師じゃねえんだ。答えを持つほど人間できちゃいねえさ。けど 歌のことはわかるさ。今夜の歌はジョーさんのソウルが詰まってた。客はそれが聞きたくてここに来てるんだ。
うん。他人のことはわかんないけど、私は今の自分を歌にした。久々に歌ってて真っ白になれたしね。
だろうな。その調子で頑張んな。今日の感触を忘れずにな。
ありがとう。やっぱこの街って最高だね。立ち寄って正解だったよ。
Juliet's smile has once again become as bright as the sun, brighter than before, in fact. As the nighttime customers pile up their glasses, they gaze affectionately at the strange foreign girl who serenaded them with their own songs. Her own path has made her stronger. Maybe this is what she was singing about. I'm sure she had countless failures and countless successes on her way here from LA, and this is the sum of them all.
ほら、アマンダ。何ぼーっとしてんの。一緒に歌おう。さあ。
私無理よ。歌なんてまともに歌えるわけが。
Impromptu karaoke. Let's do it. Her doubt and pain haven't gone anywhere. I know that her confidence isn't quite real, and she has only a little courage. But that's fine. Her songs have proven that it's enough, at least for tonight. And I agree with her, of course. Though her doubt and pain only show in her songs, I hope that little by little she can let go of them. The next day, after all the excitement at the bar, we went back to the hotel and made love into the wee hours of the morning. Before we knew it, we were fast asleep, melting into each other's arms. The moment I wake up, I feel like a wrecking ball is smashed through my head. I stumble to the bathroom and put my mouth up to the faucet. I drink what feels like a gallon of water. Girl, how much did you have to drink? I try to recall last night's events through the haze of my hangover. Speaking of which, wasn't the one who caused all that excitement?
起きたの？頭痛いなら薬があるわよ。
いい。それよりおしっこ。
いちいち教えてくれなくてもいいけど、どうぞ。
うん。ああ、そうだ。
何か？
おはよう、アマンダ。目のクマもセクシーだよ。
おはよう。一応褒め言葉と受け取っておくわ。
She never forgets to greet and kiss me in the morning. Since the beginning of our trip, not a single day has gone by before she hasn't woken me up with the morning and sent me off to sleep with the night. It's more a sign of her affection than her manners. I know that her kind, doting voice has gone a long way to make me warm up to her. Juliet, smelling like alcohol and with her hair a mess, hangs her head over the sink. It might be better if we wait until the afternoon to leave. I'm not in a hurry, and I still have plenty of time for my vacation. The alcohol has given me a bizarre craving for rice porridge, so I guess we should try to find a Chinese restaurant or something.
ねえ、今日はどっちに行こうか。81号線をこのまま行けばニューヨークに早く着きすぎちゃうよね。
ええ、それよりできれば扉を閉めてちょうだい。
なんか寂しいんだもん。どうしようかね。どっか寄るところあるかナビで探してみよう。
ねえ、ナビも私も逃げないわ。ジュリーのことは好きだけど、そういう趣味はないから、トイレの扉を閉めてちょうだい。
I exit the room. The street is studded with droplets from the morning rain, and the sun's light makes them sparkle like jewels. As we cruise down the cherry tree-lined road, I recount the memories we made in this town. I silently wish Bristol the best as we leave the city limit. We're back on I-80 and headed north. The scenery along the highway is dominated by factories and the occasional residential area, and little else. An hour flies by, and we start to see golf carts off the highway, marking our passage into Whiteville? I'm guessing it's Whiteville, or White. Whiteville. I'm gonna go with Whiteville. Just as we leave the town behind, Juliet starts to complain about being hungry. What should we do for lunch? Drive around trying to find a Chinese place somewhere? Or go to the burger place right along the highway? I don't even know if there's a Chinese place in this town. Oh, hello there, burger place. Which clearly is not Burger King. I mean, clearly that combination of yellow, red, and blue could be any burger place. We stop for gas, then head towards the burger place. The aroma of ketchup alone is enough to make my head spin. I settle on a walnut salad and a shake. Juliet bites into her huge burger, splattering ketchup on her cheek. This isn't Carl's Jr., okay? So, you know, keep it off your face. Is anyone gonna get that reference? Do people even watch television like live with commercials anymore? Never mind. As I stare at her in horror, she smiles at me like a kid, as if to ask if I wanted some. Where does she put all that food in her tiny body? That and a mountain of other questions flicker through my mind, though I suppose she could use that extra 800 calories.
ねえ、ここから南へ行くとシャーロットだ。ルートは外れるけど寄っていかない？
シャーロット？いいけど何かあるの？
いや、特に。けどナッシュビル出てからずっと小さな町ばっかだからさ、大きな町もいいかなって。インテリの土地って感じだけど、バーも多いだろうし、仕事もありそうだしね。どうかな？
いいわよ。ただし東洋風のレストランがあったらディナーはそこでね。ダイナーやカフェの食事ばかりで粥がすごく恋しいわ。
Charlotte, the biggest city in North Carolina. We're pretty close to the North Carolina state line, but Charlotte is still about 2 or 3 hours from here. It's a huge city of art, culture, and education, and especially motorsports. It's also where the Carolina Gold Rush began. Like Juliet said, it shouldn't be hard to find a bar in such a large metropolis, and there'll probably be plenty of ethnic and oriental restaurants as well. With the two of us in agreement, we turn the truck south and travel along I-77 toward Charlotte. Greenery surrounds the road the whole way, and shortly after leaving Lake Norman behind, the city begins to creep over the horizon. Charlotte doesn't have any of the cute, welcoming signboards that the rural towns did. It becomes clear that this isn't a rural town. However, when the skyscrapers begin to rise before us, the first thing we do is look for a place to stay. And like I had feared, there are plenty of high-class hotels that we need to shell out a lot to stay in. Limiting ourselves to $100 rooms has become a habit for us. We have an unspoken agreement. We look on the GPS for a cheap motel and find one that charges us only $110 for a night. As I'm filling out the paperwork for the room, I ask the desk clerk about shops in the area. Thankfully, there's a Chinese restaurant nearby, and I can finally eat the rice porridge I've sought for so long. It's been a while since I've eaten healthy. I toss my luggage on the bed and drag Juliet out into the city to find some rice porridge with fish and a nice herb soup. After dinner, we search for a bar that will let Juliet play, but there are surprisingly few. The people in the city seem to prefer the kind of bar where you can sit down and talk to people, and most of the ones that aren't like that are Mexican bars. The former has no stage for people to perform on, and the latter, naturally, prefers Mexican music. As we meander through the city streets, we finally find a bar that will let Juliet play.
こんにちは。営業前にごめんね。オーナーはいるかな？
ここの店主なら今買い出した。何か用か？
うん、表の看板見たんだけど、ここライブやってんだよね。で、出してくれないかってお願いにさ。
お願いって、お前が？
うん、ずっと飛び込みの演奏で旅してるんだ。ギャラは気に入ってくれて、酒が売れたらでいいんだ。
どうかな。ここの店主は堅物でな。飛び込みは聞きもせずお断りって野郎だ。
そっか。じゃあ他は当たった方が？
いつもならな。お前腕に自信は？
あるからこんなことしてんだけど。っていうか、あんた何？
店主の悪友ってとこだな。すぐそこの時代遅れのレコード屋を細々とやってる小物だ。
はあ。
お前面構えと声がいいな。20世紀が置き忘れた悪ガキって感じだ。どうだ、一曲聴かせてくれるか。もし俺が気に入ったらお前が今夜演奏できるよ。店主を。
本当に？
ああ、ちょうど同じミュージシャンばかりで飽き飽きしてたんだ。いいもん聞かせてくれるならよそ者も大歓迎さ。
The little girl goes up on the stage in the empty bar and begins to sing with only a little apprehension. As she repeats the simple chorus, the song slowly begins to pick up. The sound resonates through the atmosphere, and I can feel Juliet's voice on my skin. As the song reaches its climax, her recruiter begins to crack a smile. When the song ends, he applauds her enthusiastically. Juliet returns his applause with her own smile. As he had promised, the man agrees to convince the owner to let her play, and in the end, Juliet is given permission to play 2 40-minute performances. The bar's customers consist mostly of blue-collar workers, and they seem to enjoy Juliet's style. At the end of the second performance, the man from this afternoon suddenly climbs up on stage. He ignores the mocking banter from the regular patrons as he praises Juliet's music with sincerity and excitement. He introduces her to the locals as the future star, and the bar is suddenly filled with toasts to her success. By the end of her performance and the encore, the whole bar is fired up. The calendar rolls over to the next day. I, like last night, am a little tipsy, but Juliet, unexpectedly, is completely smashed. As I support Juliet, our arms draped over each other's shoulders, I decide that calling a cab is probably the smartest idea. We trudge home after the cab drops us off at the southern end of the street with our motel.
モブはアザラシじゃないって。水しだ。
What?
何の夢見てんのよ。まったく。
Oh, is that what's happened?
メカジキ
あ、ジュリー起きてんの
Juliet collapses onto the bed and falls asleep as soon as she touches the sheets, still fully dressed. Juliet is so out of it that she's sleep-talking, but I'm a little upset. We're not having sex with her in that state. We haven't missed a day since we met, and I'd planned on continuing that trend. That's why I've been taking it easy with the alcohol. I only drank enough alcohol to help me loosen up. If I knew she was going to get this drunk, I would have drunk until I passed out. I guess I could try to do it with her while she's passed out, but that seems pretty sleazy. As I start to run the water for a lonesome shower, I realize something.
ジュリーのギター。
Oh no, did you leave the guitar at the bar? The guitar case that Juliet always has with her is absent, and Juliet wasn't carrying anything in her free hand on the way home either. She'd always kept it with her no matter how drunk she got, but this time she got so drunk that she forgot it. I snap out of my astonishment as my thoughts race. She had it when she got off the stage. I remember seeing it right up until she put it away in the case and I leaned it against her seat. Maybe it's still at the bar. The owner or the guy who recruited her should still be there until it closes. We could try to go back again tomorrow, but...
ジュリー。
The guitar must be special to her. It's irreplaceable. It's been with her through thick and thin since she left LA. It's been her partner all this time. I can't even begin to imagine how much it must be worth to her. No amount of money could make up for its loss. Charlotte might be a town full of intellectuals, and the people at the bar might have accepted her. But I'm not so innocent that I'd believe nothing bad will happen to it there. If someone walks away with it, we'll have no one to blame but ourselves. It'd be better to go collect the guitar myself than to just call and hope they have it. The way back was well lit, so I should be pretty safe at least. Having made up my mind, I leave my sleeping little troublemaker behind. I'm sure that if she were to wake up right now, she'd say, in her usual optimistic way, that we could just go get it tomorrow. I head north on the I-77 toward the bar. I'm still a little tipsy, but I drank one of the 3 bottles of water in our room, so that should help a bit. I step on the gas and accelerate towards the undying lights of the city. Parking the car in front of the bar, I dash inside only to be greeted with the owner's surprised smile as he presents me with Juliet's guitar. I thank him profusely, promising to come back again and leave the bar as quickly as I had come. Securing the guitar case in the passenger seat, I do a U-turn on the abandoned highway and start driving south. If my little fawn is awake when I get back, I'm going to let her know just how much she owes me. Uh-oh. A young girl is sitting next to the road. Seeing her huddled up in the dim glow of the street light, I can't help but slam on the brakes. There aren't many houses around here, so I doubt she lives nearby. I cautiously drive towards her, keeping the engine as quiet as I can so I don't startle her. The girl is sitting on the curb, hugging her knees close to her chest and staring at the pitch-black asphalt with her empty, lightless eyes. I don't know what happened to her, but a girl like her shouldn't be sitting on the side of the highway all alone this late at night. She's in much more danger out here than the guitar was at the bar. It might not be the best idea to take her to the police either, depending on why she's out here. I park my truck on the shoulder of the road and get out to try to talk to her.
ねえお嬢さん、こんな時間にどうしたの？
別に。
そう、邪魔したんなら謝るわ。もし誰も一緒じゃないなら家まで送りましょうか。
家はここから2500マイル先だよ。それでもいいなら送って。
What are you doing 2,500 miles away from home?
それはちょっと難しいわね。シャーロットには旅行？私もそうなの。
旅行じゃない。無理やり連れてこられたの。だから私が逃げ出すのも間違ってないはずよ。
That doesn't sound good. This girl is clearly distressed, but I can tell she's very self-aware and intelligent. She looks to be about 10 to 12 years old, but she doesn't seem to be afraid of a stranger like me. Hell, she's been staring at me with those blank eyes without flinching since I started talking to her. She seems surprisingly strong-willed, and I don't think she's had anything too terrible happen to her. But what did she have to get away from? I'm not sure it'd be a good idea to ask her, though, at least not right away. Standing at her full height, she's smaller than I had expected, and she looks up at me expectantly. I smile at her with what I hope is a disarming manner.
あなたが正しいと信じるわ。よかったらいくつか質問に答えてもらえるかしら。
言いたくないことは言わない。意味のないことも答えない。それでいいならどうぞ。
いいわ。まず名前は？あとどこから来たのか教えて。
エミー・ロングハースト。家は国の反対側、西海岸の方。
そう、わかったわ。じゃあなぜシャーロットに？あとここに今いる理由。
親が勝手に転校の手続きをしたの。全寮制の学校に。家じゃ私に拒否する権利はないの。けどこんな誰も知らないとこに捨てられるなんてあんまりだって思って。それで
その場から逃げ出したってわけね。
うん。
エミ、答えてくれてよかったわ。おかげで私、間違った判断をせずに済みそう。
間違ったって？
あなたを 子供だからって一方的に警察に突き出したりしないで済んだってこと。行くあてがないのなら私の部屋に来る？
A kid should be with her parents. It's as natural as a conclusion as trash belonging in the trash can. She's like me when I was that age. The me from back then would have thought, why would parents want to send their kid away? In Emmy's case, if I was to bring her to the police, they'd just send her back to her parents. Then her parents, who wouldn't listen to anything she had to say, would send her right back to boarding school. Now, the police would probably, I imagine, just send her back to boarding school, too. But, man, there seems to be a crazy thing. There seems to be a theme of, like, people being apart from each other. Like, geographically. Interesting. And, of course, family and kids, the disconnect that sometimes happens between the generations. So after a week, she just ended up right back where she started, sitting alone beneath a street lamp on the side of the highway. What would be the point of that? I don't know what Juliet would say, but I doubt she'd be against me bringing Emmy back to our room. First, I have to calm Emmy down. Then I should figure out a way to talk to her parents and get them to listen to her. Amanda... Don't meddle in family affairs. Like, I agree that, you know, you should probably listen to what your child wants. At the same time, I'm sure the parents have a good reason for wanting to send their girl to a boarding school. Like, in all honesty, there are always two sides to these kinds of stories, and it's probably none of your business. It all depends on what Emmy wants, of course, but I suppose I could take her to a care center or explain the issue to Child Protective Services. For now, though, I need to just get her to a safe place. Oh yeah, because Child Protective Services are gonna be like, what? Parents sent their kid to a boarding school? That's child abuse. Like, that's not how that works. Or at least that's not how I think it works. I mean, I knew tons of kids growing up who went to boarding school, and they didn't necessarily like it, but... They didn't necessarily like it in all cases, but at the same time, like, sometimes you have to do things in life you don't like. I know it's a controversial opinion these days, but life is full of things we don't like, and sometimes you just gotta do it. Though it would be nice if a parent, but you know, you should probably still talk to your child about what they want as well.
警察？
まずいわね。誰か通報したのかしら。
Cause to be fair, Emmy should probably go back to her boarding school and like go talk with like a school counselor or something about this. Just saying. Amanda, you getting involved is probably not a good idea.
帰ったら何言われるか。
落ち着いて私の言う通りになさい。余計なことは言わないでね。
The police officer who gets out of his car immediately starts glaring at us as he approaches. He's a white guy with red hair, a slender body, and an arrogant attitude. He's the kind of person who you can tell is an asshole just by looking at him, and I already hate him. But this might not be all bad. As long as I stay polite and act sincere, he won't be able to do anything to us. I just hope Emmy leaves the talking to me. I harden my resolve before the meathead walking towards us. Okay, you said he had a slender body. He's not a meathead if he has a slender
こ
body.
んな時間に何してる？ ID 見せてもらおうか。
どうぞ。私たちは旅行者よ。ちょっとお店に忘れ物をして。
ニューヨーカーが季節外れの観光か？子供を連れてビジネスでもなかろ
う。What do you mean not exactly the best time for sightseeing? Excuse me, sir. People can sightsee whatever the fuck they want.
ええ、この子は妹よ。モーテルに一人で置いてくるわけにもいかなくて連れてきただけ。
妹？俺は弱視じゃねえぞ。肌の色はどう説明するんだ。
Why do I feel like we're gonna get into some heavy social cultural commentary right now? Ugh.
家庭の事情よ。家系図でも見せれば納得してくれるの？
突っかかるな。ほら ID を返すよ。で妹だって証拠は？
この州じゃ住民票を持ち歩く決まりでもあるの？そんなの持ってないわよ。
I'm not gonna even touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'm just gonna keep going.
いくらあんたが一見善良な市民に見えても中身はとんでもない悪人ってこともあるだろう。誘拐の類じゃないって証拠を見せてもらわないとな。後から俺が国中から間抜け警官のあだ名をつけられないって証拠をな。
この子は ID なんて持ち歩いてないわ。信用してもらうほかない。
To be fair, she's underage. She wouldn't have any identification. I mean, usually you don't even have a student ID until you're like 14 or 15.
信用ね。ID と車のナンバーは控えておくが、それだけじゃ何の保証にもならんな。
This guy's not concerned for the girl's safety or keeping the peace. He just cares about covering his own ass and keeping his job. I grimace as he looks me up and down with hungry eyes. What a piece of shit. How could such a nice city have a dirty cop like this? I glance over at the patrol car looking for his partner, only to find that the passenger seat is empty. The guy must be the worst kind of coward, who only goes after people he knows he can bully into submission.
じゃあどうしろっての？なんならモーテルまでついてきてもいいけど。
貴重なんてどうとでもできんだろう。まあ、俺もこんな夜中に面倒は避けたいからな。あんたなりの誠意ってやつを見せてくれればいいさ。それで俺も引き下がるし、あんたも楽しい旅行にケチがつかなくて済む。
How? How do you prove that, sir?
取引しろっての？
俺は何も言っちゃいねえさ。誠意ってのは神に誓ったりとかそういう類のもんじゃねえのか。よそ者のヒスパニックがどういう流儀かは知らねえけどな。その心臓の上に乗っかったでかい肉に聞いてみるか。
What a fucking pig. What a racist pig.
あなた次の大統領選に警察代表でスピーチすればいいわ。今の政権がいかに何も変えていないかいいモデルになる。
Well, Amanda, this is actually very timely right now.
アップタウンの地元にはこんなもの言いはしねえさ。トラブルを持ち込むよそ者のくせに言葉には気をつけるんだな。どうすんだ？さっきも言ったが面倒は嫌いだ。あまりグズグズ言うなら署で話を聞くが。
それは
今の会話録画したよ。今からアップロードする。
That's actually very timely. Way to go, Emmy. Get some accountability on this guy. I mean, you're a kid. What can he do?
あなた
これネットに載ったらすごいことになるよ。差別発言に恐喝。大騒ぎだろうね。
That's right. I was so pissed off about not having my phone just a few days ago, but for a while I hadn't even noticed it was missing. This cop, a relic from the last century, probably doesn't know anything about the internet at all. I'm sure that's what she was counting on. Actually, she's probably just counting on the fact that he was an idiot who probably thought, oh, kid. Probably kids aren't smart, which I don't know. Have you ever met a stupid kid before? I've never met a dumb kid before. That's probably what he was counting on, though. I don't know why we think children are dumb. She managed to do what I couldn't by blackmailing him. This girl is clearly not some scared little sheep. I doubt this cop uses the internet for anything other than porn. He's looking down at Emmy like she's some kind of monster speaking in tongues. Oh, no way, it's the world we live in. It's kind of scary when you think about it.
どうぞ。けどデータはクラウドにあるから壊しても無駄だよ。私を捕まえても誰か知り合いにアップを頼めばいい。
クラウド？
ああ、だからいろんな人に今の一部始終をシェアしてるってこと。変な。
クソガキが。
分かったらさっさとどっかへ行って。私もう眠いのよ。お姉ちゃんも疲れてるし、解放してくれれば何もしない。
明日には貴様ら町を出ろ。出なきゃ何をしてでも身柄引っ張ってやるからな。
Damn.
エミー、よくやったわ。怖かったでしょ。
うん、ちょっとだけ。
もう安心だから心配しなくていいのよ。ひとまず私の宿に来て、明日の朝には町を出ましょう。
Wait, you're gonna take Emmy with you? That's like kidnapping. I mean, Amanda, your heart's in the right place, but right now what you're doing is pretty much kidnapping this girl. Like, if the fucking boarding school finds out and her parents find out, you really will get arrested for well, maybe not reasonable, but for actual legal reasons.
でもあなたに迷惑がかかるわ。嬉しいけどやめとく。
Now, what Amanda could do, essentially, is take Emmy back to the boarding school and try to advocate for her, but, you know, we'll just take her back to our motel room. Let's not... The boarding school isn't looking for her or anything, or they're not going to realize in the morning that she's gone and put out, like, a notice and tell her parents and stuff. Because her parents, you know, I bet you her parents probably do care about her. You don't know. They could have sent her to a boarding school because it's, you know, got good education, or for any reason, you know, good education, or why is that the only thing I can think of? Anyways, I'm just saying this is a little faulty right here. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hard to follow. So we'll leave Charlotte first thing in the morning, but the school won't notice you're gone, and they're not going to contact your parents, and then there's not going to be a notice about a missing kid. And, yeah, you know, this isn't kidnapping or anything.
どうせ周りのことばかり気にしてるから捜索願いなんて出さないと思う。警察だって行くかどうか。
なら都合がいいわ。街を出て少しドライブしながらこれからの作戦を立てましょう。
うん。
Standing up to that guy must have been more stressful for her than she had let on. Her face is pale, and I can see that her arms and legs are shaking a bit. As I gaze at this little girl, who stayed strong even while she was staring fear in the face, I start to wonder what kind of parents she has. Putting my arm around her shoulder, I help her into the back seat where she won't be seen and start driving back to the motel. Every year, more than 100,000 minors disappear without a trace and stay missing for more than a year in this country. That means that 10 people are vanishing into the darkness every hour. I remember there being a hit song about that when I was young. That dreary folk rock song kind of reminds me of Juliet's songs. Songs filled with both bitter cries and hopeful dreams. Everyone has their reasons. Poverty, broken hearts, abuse, crime. Even when they're young, they have minds of their own, and they obviously have the right to escape from the places where their basic human rights are denied. True, but at this point, you don't really know if Emmy's basic human rights are denied. Her parents, you know, might have not taken her feelings into consideration, but that doesn't mean that they're committing some, you know, crime of abuse or neglect. You know, that seems a little overkill. As for Emmy's reason, it might not be inaccurate to say she wanted to start over, though the fact that she felt she had no other choice is a sign of a deeper problem. She's wise for her age. She wouldn't be hiding in the back seat of a stranger's car in a strange city if she didn't have a good reason to do so. I did a lot of dumb things when I was younger that I thought were good reason, that I thought I had good reasons for. And I realized as I got older, they weren't good reasons. I'm just saying. God, you probably all want me to shut up. Stop talking and just read. But this game, I've noticed, really likes to idealize the young. That's why you kind of have Juliet, who's really young and free-spirited, and she's fearless, and she does what she wants. Which, is true of young people, for sure. That stuff kind of gets tempered as you get older. But I really kind of hate the romanticizing of being young, just because I think there's a lot of value to being old as well, and more experienced, and knowing more about the world and who you are. And that stuff you're not born with. You have to go through life. You have to fucking go through shit to earn that. And so it's impossible to have when you're young. And it's a continual process because you're continually getting older and growing. But this game plays with the stereotype of the free-spirited young girl who's going to kind of, change and positively influence the older woman who's a bit more of a stick in the mud and more practical. But, there's a lot of value in that. More value, I'd argue, than being free-spirited all the time, just because it can land you in a whole lot of trouble if you don't have if you're not thinking ahead enough. But I will get off my soapbox because that's not what we're here for. My suspense of disbelief has just got broken with this scene, though, and I'm sorry if I ruined it for all of you as well, but I will shut up. It was a chance that I was out at this time of night, and I certainly didn't expect to find a girl on the side of the road. I stepped on the gas pedal, speeding away from the police in the city and toward our motel near the state line. And this episode's kind of gone on long, hasn't it? All right, then. I'm sure you all want a break from me anyways. Thank you for watching, as always. And we will see what happens on the next one. I am certainly looking forward to it. All in all, I'm very curious to see what we're going to do with Emmy and how the story is going to continue. So until then, take care.